let's go over the btwb training days analysis feature. This is an accountability feature that tracks your consistency with training and ultimately logging results here into the btwb app. So to access this feature, you're going to click into the side menu from the home screen. And from here, the fourth item down is Analyze. We're going to click into that. And this will give you a bunch of options here. This is where all of our analysis features live. And the very first one is the training days feature. So we'll click into that. And from here, you get a nice bird's eye view of the current year. Now, what we do with training days is, again, give you a nice bird's eye view of the entire year by month, so you can see exactly which days each week, each month you've logged scores for. And so you can see here it's January 2021. So I've only got dots, green checkmark dots in my January calendar so far. As we progress through the year, I'll be able to add more green checkmarks to days in future months. So kind of honing in on that January month there, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green check marks, and we total those up for you with that number next to the abbreviated month name. So you've got the 5 inside of the circle representing 5 training days for me. All right. Now, you also have the option of viewing nutrition days and feel-good days inside of the broader training days feature here. So the menu there displays 5 training days, but it also shows me 5 nutrition days and 4 feel-good days. So if I click into the nutrition days, it's going to switch the calendar up. This is going to be a blue color. If I click into the feel-good days, it'll switch the calendar up once again. And this is going to be the red color. These colors here, the green for the training days, the blue for the nutrition days, the red for the feel-good days, match up with those progress bars on the home screen. And ultimately, we'll go ahead and jump back there in a second to kind of cover those. But your answers to the questions, the daily lifestyle questions for both nutrition days and feel-good days, are directly linked to these calendars here. So good responses to nutrition and feel-good days questions will give you the check mark on these calendars. Bad responses won't. All right. So each of these 3 calendars here, training, nutrition, feel-good, all work the same way. They're going to show you how consistent you are with each of those 3 items. Okay. Over here on the right-hand side, we also show you days left in the year, as well as rest days. So a rest day can be defined as a day that you didn't log a score, you didn't work out, so you didn't get that training day. But the idea here is just to give you some context as far as where you are currently in the year, how many days left in the year you have to go, and maybe that'll kind of spur you on a bit more or let you know you're right on track. Okay. The other thing that you can do with each of these, or with the training days feature here, is you could switch years. So you can see that most of my months here are grayed out. That's because we've yet to get to those so far. But what I can do is I can click on this drop-down menu here, and I can switch back over to previous years. So currently we're showing 4 years. So that should give you enough, assuming you've been logging scores with btwb for the last 4 years, that should provide you some decent context so you can click back into some of these previous years and kind of see how they compare or how you've been progressing. If I click into the 2020 year, it should switch me up. And you can see, let's jump back into training days here. I worked out 229 days last year, which left me with 137 rest days. And then I could break that down by month. It looks like, I was averaging in the beginning part of the year, sub 20 days total in that first quarter. I started pushing it up to 20 plus in that second and third quarters, and then I dropped back down just a little bit in that final quarter. So I can take a look at the consistency there, maybe see where I dropped off or where I was really crushing it. Another thing to notice about this calendar that you didn't notice in the 2021, let me just double check. Yep, that's right. So in the 2020 calendar here, you can see yellow lightning bolts. So those are training days, but those are also days that you set personal records on. So this will give you kind of a cool, again, bird's eye view of not only training days, but kind of when some of those personal records that you were achieving were happening. All right. And then you could sift through the nutrition and feel-good days as well. As you can see here, for each of these, the nutrition and the feel-good days, I wasn't answering those questions in the middle part of the year there. So I don't get to kind of see what trends I have, but, it's probably a good assumption that if I wasn't answering the question, the answer was probably going to be bad anyway. All right. So this is the training days feature here. One other thing I did want to mention is we do have a committed club, a btwb committed club that users can earn if they log to 12 or more days in a given month. So for last year, 2020, I earned committed club each time. This is something that gets pushed on to gym admins. They can view a list of users, a list of gym members each month that made the btwb committed club, which again is another way for them to kind of see who in their gym is being consistent, showing up, logging scores, and then how many, and if that number is trending up or down over time. Okay, so you logging scores to the btwb app consistently does provide your gym owner, if you belong to a gym, some valuable information as well. If we click back into the home screen, we can view the lifestyle questions I was, or the progress bars rather, that I was referring to. You can see those three at the top there. Not shown are the actual questions for the day, because I previously answered those, but those will appear each new day if you haven't answered them. Very simple questions. How did you eat yesterday? How did you feel yesterday? And you can answer good or bad. Good answers, again, populate the progress bars up here. And you can see these are just the current month. So each of these three bars represents the January that we were looking at inside of the actual training days feature there. So again, you get to see what the consistency looks like. If you take a look at my training days here, I got off to a slow start as far as working out goes, but trying to get back at it. And so I've managed to work out for the last 3 days, and we'll see if we can keep that trend going. On the far right-hand side of that green training days bar, you see the number of training days you need to get to that committed club. So remember, that number is currently set at 12, which is an average of 3 days per week, which is a nice number to kind of commit to hitting, a nice at least 3 days per week. And so I've got 5 training days logged so far, so I just need 7 more to go to hit committed club. Once I hit that 12th training day, that'll switch up over to some new text indicating that I actually did hit committed club. So again, the training days analysis feature is going to be a nice way to monitor your habits with each of these things to make sure you're on track with some of the training, nutrition, and just overall mental and physical well-being habits you're trying to maintain.